Right. Many first-person shooters don't include any kind of cover system. In Breach, we've created a system we call active cover. Active cover gives you all sorts of advantages for using cover. For example, I can pause to gain situational awareness, I can peek, I can zoom, I can also blind fire. But unlike any other game with any kind of cover system, in Breach, all that cover is destructible. And not just cover objects that have been placed around the environment by designers. Everything in Breach is destructible. You can blow holes in walls, floors, ceilings, all around. Active cover changes the way you play a game because it changes the pacing of the game. When you're playing with people who are using active cover, you need to use cover. It makes Breach a game about using and destroying cover. Every weapon in Breach has its own ballistics, and projectiles will impact surfaces differently depending on the projectile, the velocity of the projectile, as well as the type of surface. Unfortunately, your enemies can do that same sort of thing to you too. So I'm going to hop on this 50 cal right here. In Breach, destruction is not just destruction, it is also degrading. So you can actually degrade surfaces, gradually erode your opponent's cover, forcing them to move, to get up, to move to a different location. All right, let's get a line on Jason. All right, Jason's just eroded my cover. So I'm going to hop to a duplication. A lot of first-person shooters don't have any kind of dynamic destruction at all. Of course, there are some that do, and you've seen how even very simple destruction, like for example, blowing a hole in the wall, can cause the way a map plays to change. We call that destruction 1.0. Other games have added physics and structural supports to buildings, allowing you to collapse buildings or parts of buildings. Like that. We call that destruction 2.0. Breach is built on an engine that we call the hydrogen engine. Hydrogen engine offers a capability we call destruction 3.0. The idea is to give players all sorts of tactics that they can use that they have not had in any other game. So for example, I just blew a very precise hole in the side of a wall. Unlike other games where when you place a breaching charge on a wall, for example, it doesn't matter where you place it, left, right, up, or down, it's going to cause exactly the same destruction each time. In Breach, it's very precise. Additionally, I'm not limited just to blowing holes in exterior walls. I can also blow holes in interior walls in Breach, which allows me to actually create a new line of attack right through the insides of buildings. We really want Breach to be about not just in exterior combat, but also interior combat as well. Notice the way the active cover system has reacted to that, allowing me to set up an ambush. Active cover responds to all the destruction that you cause in the environment, allowing you to take advantage of holes that you make or your opponents make. Destruction in a lot of other games is kind of chunky. You don't have very finite control over that. In Breach, you can actually blow individual bricks right out of walls, allowing you to set up new vantage points for yourself pretty much anywhere on the map. All right. So we just, there's Jason. So you might have noticed that the structure, when I took out the structural support, it actually caused part of that house to fall down on top of Jason. Everything is a physics simulation. It causes falling damage. Sometimes it'll kill a player, sometimes it won't. The game features 12 unique spy gadgets. I've got a spy gadget here that's called the Bionic Ear. The Bionic Ear allows me to localize and filter sound so I can find opponents even if they're right behind a wall. So here in this case, I can see that my opponent is somewhere. He's not below me. There we go. You can actually blow holes in ceilings and floors in Breach as well as in walls. There are 5 different character classes in Breach. 4 of those are available at the beginning, and then you unlock the 5th class, the Elite Recon class, once you've mastered 2 of the other classes. There are also weapons caches that are laid around the environment, and you can imagine that in a game that's all about destruction, having access to those weapons caches is very important. So I've equipped this character with a sniper detector. Sniper detector, as you can see, reflects light off of scopes, allowing you to locate where somebody might be camped across the map. So in this case, we're going to sneak up on our opponent. All right, there he is. Oh, caused him to fall. So now, my opponent's found a great location. He's on a 50 cal and he's got his back to the wall while I am out in the open all around. So that's my tactic. I will cause the building on top of him to fall down and crush him. And that's Breach. Breach will be available in the early summer of this year on Xbox Live Arcade.